oftentimes reminded unnecessarily that anime usually or sometimes is used or is a vehicle to fuel manga sales, right? It's usually just for the manga. I get that, right? I get that they use it for advertisement, but at the end of the day, if you're gonna do that, you gotta make sure you're taking care of your resources. Your people gotta be happy if that's gonna be the case. It's one thing to say like, oh yeah, anime is the thing that's gonna be harder to reproduce each season because it takes more people and it takes more work and more money. All of that may be true. There is a lot more hands on deck when it comes to making an anime, but they're not doing any better when it comes to making manga because their mangakas are always, and I mean always, sick. You got My Heroes mangaka, sick. Freeren's mangaka and illustrator both have the suds. Hunter x Hunter, his mangaka, he blew his back out about 30 times already. We don't know when he's coming back. He's out of commission all the time. He makes a chapter or he puts like some drawings out and gets everybody excited and then goes on another hiatus. So and not to mention, what's his name? The Berserk mangaka, one of the biggest ones. Like his schedule is known to have been really arduous and hard on his body, leading to a very hard and weird release schedule up until he unfortunately passed away. So it's like y'all, and this is coming from a place where people have better healthcare than America, right? So these are, we're seeing these people still struggle even with the easier medium to recreate. So I myself am an anime person, so I like watching it and hearing the sounds and all the movements and stuff like that. But I do read some manga, not power-based, not shonen really for the most part. But it's really something to be said about the work schedule that they're putting these people under when it comes to these very deep and lore heavy shows where they're coming up with all these concepts. You want them to come out with these really interesting worlds and characters and premises and power structures and so on. And then it has to come out weekly. Maybe it's time to sort of update that sort of structure to where we don't have to have these people's schedules be 16 hours drawing, 4 hours sleeping, 3 hours planning. I don't know. I'm gonna put it up on screen. This is one of the schedules of a mangaka maybe a few years ago. And it's one of those things where it's like, okay, well, if we're going to do that, we got to start treating our people better. Work conditions are something that we're always talking about, but at the same time, I think it's something we could always improve on. So maybe we need to go, maybe they got something going with this monthly schedule. Maybe that'll really help people out. And with that being said, that's going to have to reflect on the anime industry as well. I know they want to make more money, but maybe it's time to reflect on not making so much, pull back the quantity and pull up the quality. Maybe it's time to go back to really caring about what we're pulling out and really pushing in front of people's eyes. Yeah, y'all may come out with a ton of titles every season, but a lot of them hoes go by the wayside. People don't even know half of these shows exist until years later when it just randomly pops up on their search bar or something like that. So maybe we should be a little bit more picky when it comes to what we're putting out. So whenever we have these manga that are taking a little longer to come out because we want to prioritize their health and long-term success, we can put out the quality of the products. We can go on full episode or season 4 of the show instead of dropping them every season, or it gets to 2 seasons and then all of a sudden we don't like the show anymore. All of a sudden it's old news. I think we could really use some monsters, right? Some slow burns. We could use some shows that take a little minute to heat up, but once they do, you really get going.